I actually wanted to start working at Mill Valley Middle School because I had a friend that was working there and she said they needed someone to come in and help be a teacher's aide. And I decided I would do that, and that was in 1979. I'm not sure that there's a lot of difference in kids as far as choices and stuff like 20 years ago and today. I think basically they're all still the same. I think it's probably in some ways a lot more troublesome for kids because I think there's a pressure to perform better and to get good grades and to do better in life generally. But I think that basically it's all the same. It's what's changed around them that has made some differences. So that I think kids still have the same peer pressure and trying to fit in and trying to, keep their homework up and be with their parents and friends. I think that's about it. I think the hardest thing of working with kids was actually finding out about their backgrounds and kind of wondering why they acted the way they did. And then you find out that there's certain stories in their background that make it really hard. Some kids don't have it very easy. They have kind of upset family lives and maybe not an intact family. And it shows for kids, that try really hard, but yet feel kind of neglected at home and don't have the support that kids need. I think, there's always a bunch of kids that stays in your mind when you've worked there such a long time, but I have one in particular, and her name was Laura, and she was really having a hard time fitting in, and I could see her walking through the halls, and she'd be by herself and kind of shrinking to the side of everybody. And then one time, she was asked to go work in the play, and she had this great part, and she just did a beautiful job, and all of a sudden, when she was in that play, it changed her whole popularity with herself too. I mean, it made her have confidence, and now I could see a whole different kid walking down the hall just from being in the play was such a big deal. I think just working in a school changes you because it's really a very electrifying atmosphere to be in because there's a lot of energy. And I think it's just something, I remember thinking that I love the first day and I love the last day. I love the in between too, but seeing the excitement of new kids coming in and kids being graduated and stuff was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that a lot. There was a time where there was a couple of kids that kind of took me into their confidence and wanted to talk to me about their heart problems as far as being hurt and stuff like that. And they were just kids that needed a lot of attention, and most of the time I referred them off to counselors and everything, but every so often I could get someone to kind of open up and talk to them about it, and they seemed to appreciate that just to hear, actually be able to talk to somebody. I had many chances of taking other jobs. I was invited down to the district office, and I was invited off to be into another elementary school, but I really enjoyed Mill Valley Middle School. I liked that age. I got along with the kids really well. And I just didn't want to leave there because it was very satisfying, a very fun job, and I would do it again. It was fun. I thought Mill Valley Middle School, and I'm sure they did do a really good job on educating kids. The teachers were very dedicated and very caring, so I was always impressed with the teachers. And plus, we got really good grade averages there, and I think that the kids did really well under those conditions. They seemed like it anyway. I would say sometimes that kids had trouble making friends, and that was always sad to see somebody that didn't seem happy. Had some kids that really had some hard times at home. The parents were having a hard time. So their home life was not really that great. So you could kind of tell which kids that were. And it was always interesting to kind of get to know the kid and then meet the parents. And sometimes you'd go, wow, now I get it. But they, most of them, 99% were really good, fun kids. I enjoyed it. I think technology is a huge thing with teenagers. I think that's really been a monster for a lot of things that happen as far as getting along with other friends and peer groups and stuff. The bullying thing is a big worry. I think technology is an awesome, awesome thing, but it also has kind of a scary element to it. And I think that some kids get totally addicted to it. And I read somewhere that some kids check their phone at least 100 times a day. And to me, that's kind of too bad because they become too dependent on it. As I look back on the years that I worked at middle school, I really appreciate them a lot. I really learned a lot. It was fun seeing the kids. They had great sense of humor. We had a lot of fun together, joking and stuff like that. even the kids that seemed to be always in trouble were always really a lot of fun as far as talking to. I think that was the interesting thing about school was that there were so many different personalities. At the end of the day, it was fun to say, hey, how are you doing? And see you later, see you tomorrow. And I just really liked that age a lot.